Hey YouTube, it's Just10 Game Guy here. It's probably been a long time since my last video, so hope everyone's doing well. Today, actually, you might be wondering why the title of this video is more unusual or just different than the other ones, and that's for a very good reason. So I'm just gonna come right out and say it, and pretty much this project, as we know it, is more than likely dead. So I've spent, I don't know, roughly 4 or 5 years on and off putting together this Harvest Moon RPG Maker game of mine. It was a labor of love, so to speak. I'm a huge fan of the series, and I just started getting disillusioned with the later entries in the series, thinking that I can do something better, and so I really tried. However, through working on this and whatnot, I don't know, we just had issues over, I think it was this summer, where we'd make new progress, and I wouldn't say, me and my sister, Crystal240, would work on it, and like, she'd make progress on something and try to transfer it over to my game. We both had like the game going, and just stuff got lost, stuff wasn't working, it was just really buggy. So essentially, I lost a lot of data too. I lost the entire save file that I was playing continuously for like 2 years with I think Blake on the LA Kings farm and Zale the horse, like that whole YouTube play series where I'm at like Spring 20. That's gone. Everything's gone. Well, not everything's gone, sorry, but a lot of stuff is gone. So that's the bad news. The good news is though, using some old resources and whatever, I threw together what this is here, what you see, and I'm just calling it a 2-week demo. I salvaged what we can, threw it together, made it a demo, just so that you poor people who've been waiting forever and ever for me to get stuff done will actually get to experience a little bit of what I was working on. Essentially, you will start how you normally do, spring the 2nd, I think, and you can play up to spring 14. So what that means, I'll show you on the side. You can play 2 festivals, because they are working for sure. You can play the Planting Festival, you can do the Cherry Blossom Viewing Festival, both of which you've seen on previous videos, so you can play those. What can you do? I think you can grow all the crops. Let me just look at the field for a second. What did I throw together? You can grow, yeah, because it's spring. I think you should have no trouble growing crops and stuff. Farm spring. I think that's all programmed in there. Turnips, potatoes, cabbage, cucumbers. Right, that's other stuff. Okay, so you can grow crops. So you can play for about 14 days. You can have a fun, neat little Harvest Moon experience. Yeah, you can grow grass. Oh, you can't raise cows. I lost the progress I made on that, and I'm not going to throw that back together. You can grow chickens of different colors. Baby chick, white chicken, brown chicken. Oh, yeah. Some resources are missing, too. Stuff that I put together. So, what I did to rectify that, you have a duck. If you raise enough money, you can buy the duck. Yes, that's something I should note. Some characters are not, their Kara sets are missing or whatever. So, I just took some basic RPG Maker. It comes with some standard stuff. The RTP is what it's called. I just quickly grabbed some characters, threw them in the spots where the characters that are missing would be, and that way the game still works without crashing. Otherwise it'll say like missing such and such graphic, or I think they'd just be invisible. Either way, so this might be Potpourri where my mouse is. So instead of having nothing, you're going to have this little girl be Potpourri. So if you see her walking around town, this is Potpourri. I think her face image and stuff should be the same. Although I noticed some people's face graphics, when you go talk to them, are also missing. But here's the thing too. A lot of times people are asking me for my tile sets, my Kara sets. So this is a lot of stuff in here, what you'd get in this demo. Like you could make all the maps I made with the resources I give you, all the maps. You're going to have to go on the internet and re-find some people. Or check Moonlit Kinder's thing. That's where there's a lot of resources. But like, And granted, this should probably give anyone interested in making their own RPG Maker Harvest Moon game a rough idea of how I did it using events and variables. So there's a lot of good maps you can get from here. You just might have to get some more animals. I don't know if this game has all crops and stuff. I know for sure it has the spring stuff. But yeah, so I threw it together. It should be playable, I think. So for the most part, you can play this demo for 14 days in spring and have a lovely time. And if you want, if you get a little better, you can extend that limit, you know, just program some more stuff in yourself and keep going. And this is a great template for you to build your own Harvest Moon. Yeah, look, lots of maps. I'm just looking at stuff. Lots of maps. It's just, yeah, people are kind of weird. Like, these would be my carpenters, but now they're these little default guys because they got lost somewhere. I don't know where they went. I don't know who this is supposed to be. He's some funny. Harris. Oh, man. So the mailman looks like this. This is Harris now. Just, that happened. Sorry about that. So, essentially, I'm just going to show you real quick. You'll start the game. What I'm going to do also is, I'm going to put this YouTube video up first. But this game file, I'll post the link to where you can get this file on the internet. It might not be available immediately because I might just do a couple playthroughs to make sure you can roughly play the 14 days without any bugs. So you'd start the game. I think I might have shown you this in the real game. Very similar. I edited a bunch of stuff just so that it makes more sense in the context of this 2-week demo. So you run. You go talk to Oak again. He's like, hey, welcome to this demo or whatever. Yeah, it says still a work in progress. No, it's not a work in progress anymore. However, there'll be an announcement at the end in regards to something else. So, this might be a long video too. I hope you stick with me till the end. So yeah, you're about to play a demo. Many features aren't available. There's still a lot, trust me. I still feel you could have fun just messing around with this. There's fun to be had in this. Right. Also, there's going to be spelling errors because this thing has no spell check and I'm suck at that. It's going to ask me a question. Are you a boy or girl? Haha, joke. Right, so we've seen this before. We're not going to show you the tutorial, but if you've never played before, I do recommend doing it just because how my button layout is. It takes a little while to get used to. Essentially, shift is I think to talk to people and to pick up items. Space bars to use your tools, but you'll figure stuff out. Oh fudge! I didn't want to do that. Okay, hold on. Right. Let's not do this. How do I go back to the load screen? There we go. Okay. I'm actually going to take a pause for a second, guys, because I need to check my phone, and then I'll just cut the video and resume at this point. So, hang on a second, guys. I'm going to pause. You won't probably notice the difference. Okay, sorry, I'm back. No, I'm not loading. I'm sorry, I'm doing a new game. We're just going to skip the tutorial. So, just so, yeah. Right. Just kidding. So no, I'm starting the game, but I recommend you watch the tutorial. Although if you've already been watching my videos, oh yeah, so we're gonna go through this again. Sorry, I don't remember what he's gonna say. I might have changed the dialogue a bit to make some sense. You know what though? You've seen this before, so maybe I won't show this to you. What am I gonna do? Let's just stop playing for a second. Let's just load some game I've been messing around in. Alright. Right. That's a person. So yeah, you can still pick up items, put them in your bag, use tools. That's all good. Just people are not gonna look, some people aren't gonna look like who they should look like. You can't have cows. I know that for sure. Cows and sheep you can't have. Just trying to see what even happens. Right, so you can't even go in the barn. You can't have chickens. I don't have any right now. You should be able to grow grass in this field where I'm at now. You have to go down here to grow your crops, and you should be able to grow all the spring crops, provided you have to do them in 3x3 grids in these little sections. So yeah, you can do that. I don't know, just, yeah, that's what you're gonna have to do. Yeah, so this is my gift to you for following me for 5 years, or however long it's been. Thanks for that. Take that fountain. Yeah, so essentially what's going to happen, because when you get to day 14, I believe it's this one. Oh, no. Go to bed. You'll be in your house, but once you leave, nothing will, just because nothing's programmed to go past that day, and so yeah, you're gonna run into issues if you let the days keep going, because it's gonna try load summer, but summer's not there, and then it's gonna get really buggy past these 14 days. So that's why it just stops you. It won't let you do it. It'll say like, that's my little thank you note to you guys. And then you just go to a little end where I show the credits of all the sprites I've used from people and various things like that. And that ends the demo. So that's what I wanted to show you. With that being said, however, this is not the end of me working on a Harvest Moon. Instead, I am shifting over to a new maker. So, this is RPG Maker XP, one step up. Now, the reason I'm doing this is as follows. A, I lost, resources for 2003, so it was a good point to move on. B, I found on the internet randomly this thing called the Harvest Moon Toolkit. Someone put together their basic little, like, how you can go about making your own Harvest Moon game using this program and a bunch of various scripts, because that's something 2003 doesn't have. They don't have scripting, whereas XP allows you to use Ruby, I believe it is. So this guy has, like, tons of scripts, good for starting, and I'm not gonna, like, copy his stuff and whatever. What I'm gonna do is still start from scratch, but just seeing that someone was able to do it, I can look at his scripts, figure out what he did it, and then tweak stuff for how my game will go. So, this is the end of Harvest Moon 2003, but this is going to be the beginning of Harvest Moon RPG Maker XP. And with this program, you can do quite a bit more than what I could do with 2003, so I'm really excited. So, just playtesting his thing for a second. I don't know the name of the guy who did this. I found this on a website called, like, Pokemon Toolset or something like that. It was on a Pokemon website. I will find him on the internet and for sure give him tons of credit when I make my game. I'll put him in my credits list. But, so I'm going to start my new game. So, like, just a lot of things I didn't know how to do, he's done with scripts. Look at this wonderful menu. If you get items, put them in there, and you can, like, switch them around. It looks so official and proper, which is awesome. Yeah, he's got a tool chest, so you can get tools, put them in your rucksack. I just love how this actually feels legit. So that's awesome. If I could somehow replicate something even half as good, my game would be awesome. So you just exit, and then yeah, you just get a tool. Let's say the axe. Okay, I hate that it's raining. I'm gonna go to bed. How do I go to bed? Sleep. I just don't want it to rain. Oh, it's freaking raining again. The noise is annoying. Either way, so I have my axe. How do I use tools? X. Yeah, no, it's just fluid. He doesn't have any animations for when you break wood or any sound effects, but just knowing that this exists is awesome. I'm really impressed with what else? Like, yeah, it's a Pokemon game. For some reason, there's Pokemon everywhere. You can like pick up an object if I remember how. Nope, that one. Okay, put it in your bag. So I have a berry. Pick up put that in your bag. But now, whoops, look, so it's in your bag, and you can, like, choose stuff, like, it looks so proper. I am really excited. This is awesome, because 2003 had no scripting, so I have no idea how to script, so this, to me, is all really cool and exciting, but you people who actually know programming, you're probably like, you're such a a dork, like this is such standard stuff. But for me, it's awesome, because I had to do everything with switches and events. How do I put it back in my bag? Shift, right. But now, he's even got a program, you push a button, like out comes the berry, put it back in. Out comes the herb, comes back in. I'm just doing this with one button. Oh, of course, it's the shift key, so if you hit it too many times, that happens. But I think that's awesome. So I was like, whoa, if I can use this in my game, then my game's going to be amazing. So that's what I'm doing now. Also, I should mention, when I discovered this project on the internet, Steam was having some sort of lunar sale. It was like the middle of January, and so RPG Maker XP was on sale for like $5. Like literally, I think it was $5, something like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. So I did, and now I am in the process of transferring over all my stuff. So this is my nope, this is not right. So, this is my very, very, very rough thing. Just started working on towns. But yeah, I've already worked on transferring people over. So like all my sprites are going to transfer over nicely. I found a program to convert my 2003 stuff to XP, so that's great. I don't have to go looking for resources. All my stuff will work. Also, the size of your Kara sets and graphics are much larger than what they were in 2003. So I can actually have like a full-size horse, and I can have this, which this wouldn't have been possible in 2003. And so, for example, our baby horse, because of the limits of the size of a graphic, I had to chop off like part of the tail, part of the nose, and I had to do that with all the adult versions of the cows and sheep. And so now with this program, I can have the full-size things, which is great. And yeah, so now I am messing around with this, and this is going to be my new project. Because this has like the same events and variable system, I know how to do everything I did in my last project. I just transfer it over. It will take me like a fourth of the amount of time it took me the first time, because I had to learn everything for the first time. Now I know how to do everything. The only thing I have to really try to figure out is Ruby scripting, because I believe that's what this program uses, is Ruby scripting. So once I figure that out, I can make the menu system I want. I can improve my growing crops, because he has a really efficient crop growing system. But everything else in my game, I can just transfer over and recreate with events and variables. So that's nothing. So I'm so excited for this new program. I probably, to be honest, should have upgraded to a bigger project years earlier, or a better, more modern one. And the reason I'm doing this again is because it was $5 on Steam. I found this the project for XP called the Harvest Moon Toolset. And if I were, say, to try use a more modern program like RPG Maker MV is the newest, I would have to just reconvert all my graphics and characters, and that would take a long time too. So, this is probably the easiest way to do things, and it's also such an upgrade over 2003 that I'm so excited. So, that's where I'm at, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with me for the 5 years with 2003, but 2003 is done. Now we're moving on to XP. So I'm very early stages. I just got this program like maybe a couple days ago. No, not a couple days ago. Maybe like 3 weeks ago, let's say. I've had it for like 3 weeks. So if you want to know what I've done practically nothing, but I can just run around. I think I'm Barley. I don't know why I decided to be Barley. So Barley's the main guy. I was just testing out events and stuff. Talk to this guy to make some music, I think. Oh, Xenoblade. Nice. So the only maps I have, this is the flower shop. I'll probably edit a bunch of stuff, though. Flower shop. Buy your crops. Oh, one sec. I got, But yeah, so it's the same graphics as my 2003 project, so granted, if I hadn't told you, you probably wouldn't have even noticed the difference. I just had to click Cliff, because then I can run faster. So I got the flower shop, I got the bakery. Yeah, I'm still running really fast. This probably isn't the final design, I was just messing around. This donut muffin rack or whatever, I found on a Sprite, or like someone on the internet was posting pictures of like these fan edits they were doing for Harvest Moon stuff. So either way, full credits to them for making that. I did not make that. I don't have their name. I'll go back and find it, and I will make sure to credit you for this lovely rack of baked goods, because I think it is awesome and I want it in my maps. However, if you see this video and you don't want me to use it, by all means contact me and I will get rid of it. But I did not make this, someone else did. Full credits to them. I'll just quickly go back and figure out who that was so I can credit them. But yeah, so that's really all I got right now. Oh, oops. I'm just messing around, trying to see what I can do with maps. You have a lot more freedom with making maps too. It's great. You can shove so much more in one tile set, whereas before you were really limited and constrained. So I'm really excited. The future of my Harvest Moon project is looking great. I hope one day I can give you a full playable version of Harvest Moon that I made, because I'm a huge fan of the series. So once again, I will post these videos. I'm going to stop because the music's getting loud. I will post this YouTube video, obviously probably sooner than I'll post the file. But so when this video is up, look on this video for a link in the description to my 2-week 2003 Harvest Moon project. I'm just going to run through it a couple times to make sure you guys can play it without tons of game crashing bugs. With that being said, thank you for the long video. Thank you so much for the support. I will still be working on Harvest Moon. It's just now going to be Harvest Moon RPG Maker XP. So, there's that. I hope you guys all have a fantastic week, day, whatever. Good luck with everything. See you later. Juz10 Game Guy out.